Okay,
I guess we just.
ready to go? All right. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 1:30 PM. Hopefully, everybody had a chance to review and look at the minutes from May the 9th. They were distributed and sent out to everybody. Do I have a motion on the floor to accept the minutes of May 9th?
Motion.
Okay, do we have a second on that?
I second.
Second on that, okay, so get Bonnie to second. All in favor, please, by signify raising your hand. All right, we're 5-0 on that, okay. All right, so basically there are a few things we have to get through, and I think the first one, community needs assessment plan progress. In this packet, you should see the thing that I had sent out, probably 6 weeks ago, maybe 8 weeks ago. It involves phases. Phase 1, the preliminary tasks were all completed. We are in phase 2, which is entitled Spring 2025, which we are in and out of. We've done our primary stakeholder interviews. We are extending this out, and I think all we have to say there is spring/summer of 2025, because we do need more time to get through them. And with that in mind, we're doing the secondary interviews now. The focus groups, this is a research method where groups of people carefully selected to represent different segments of our town population are brought together in small groups to discuss specific concerns, allowing the Health and Wellness Committee members to gather additional information and feedback necessary to develop their plan to target. And targeting the 6 things that we are set to do: the physical health and access to care, social well-being, safety and environment, economic stability, mental health and well-being, and community engagement and leadership. And then we talked about possible focus groups, and we talked about doing this during the months of June and July. We talked about perhaps identifying elderly, those with specific needs, both physically and emotionally impaired. And I think Lori was going to kind of look into that for us. She's not here right now to
On Zoom.
address that, but if she gets on Zoom, we'll have her come back to that. Parents of young children, we haven't really formalized a group where we sat down with a group of people. We've interviewed people that have children,
Yep.
but we just haven't done it in groups. With the Hispanic workers, we talked about the need for people to assist with these groups that were bilingual, but obviously I think we put that on hold based on the fact that the climate just isn't conducive to doing that at this very time. There's a certain amount of reservation that the Hispanic community has about divulging information, coming together in large groups, and there's a trust factor there. So hopefully that's something that eventually we'll work through and we'll get through, and hopefully in the fall, or whether it's in the winter, things will change a little bit in our favor to be able to do that, because it's an important segment of our community, a growing segment of our community that we would like to work with. We've identified
Lori's there.
Okay, Lori's there. Lori, going back to, we were talking about focus groups. Lori, can you hear me? Yeah. No, you're muted, so you need to unmute. But we can lip read.
Take it at least to hear you.
No, you're still muted.
Here comes Marissa.
It's Marissa to the rescue.
Kelly. Okay, I'm never an IT person, you know.
Sorry, Kelly.
Okay, we're here.
Okay,
Now what happened?
there you go. So
Now I
listen,
lost my picture.
so that's okay. As long as you can hear me and we can hear you, that's fine.
I gotcha.
Okay, so we were talking about focus groups and targeting focus groups. And one of the groups of the 5 that we had identified were elderly, those that are faced with physical and or emotional impairments. Have you been able to identify people that might be willing to sit down at the senior center and have a focus group meeting with the health and wellness group?
Yes, I do. I have enough. I have people.
Okay. Do we have people, you feel comfortable, do we feel comfortable in sending somebody there to help record or to ask questions? Or do you want Lori to work strictly by herself? What are your thoughts?
Well, whatever, Lori, you feel would be helpful, I'd be available to come in and serve as a scribe, take notes, and,
Okay.
because with a group, it can get kind of complicated, so having, I think, someone who's there designated
Okay.
is good.
Yeah, I just did one this week because I had this wonderful picture of a couple doing the tango, and we talked about the value of dancing, and especially tango when you're using so many neuro pathways. And we talked. It was very creative because they were able to, look at a picture and really imagine a lot of things that are going on when they're dancing. And it was good, very clever, I thought. Good.
All right, so Bonnie, we'll be in touch with you, Lori, to set something up where we can continue to do this. It's an important group. You know, obviously, we listed that as number one because we feel it's a very important group of people that we would like to run a focus group with. And let's try one out in the coming weeks. Again, we're not on a strict timetable, but we would like to get this thing done hopefully by the end of July, if possible. Okay?
Okay.
All right?
Until August, that's okay too.
Yeah, that's okay too. Okay?
Yeah, can I just say, I don't think realistically that focus group, but other focus groups are going to happen in July.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and
We
I
always
agree
have
with that.
seniors. Yeah.
Right. Because you have a built-in
Yeah.
population.
Sure. Okay. So we're talking late summer, early fall. Okay, I'm just going to make that notation on the thing. Okay. All right. Any other questions on,
You want me to reach out to Bethany to see if she could talk to some of the parents of the children that come to the after-school program, and maybe they would be willing to sit for a focus group?
Hallie, that would be helpful.
Everybody else is-
That would be,
Great group.
yeah, that would be very good.
A built-in group while they're hanging
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Maybe also to reach out to the PTSA, or maybe their first meeting could also be part of the first meeting.
That's a good idea.
and who do you want to reach out to there?
Yeah, the PTSA. I'm not sure who it is anymore.
Okay, I think they still do exist.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Still do.
Yeah.
Just not sure.
Okay, all right, so
Yeah, I have, Bill, Jim, I have another one. When you do the group with the parents, I had quite a conversation yesterday with the three ladies at the IGA at the checkout, who each have at least 3 children and are working from 9 in the morning until 8 PM.
okay,
And how they're doing their childcare. They're frustrated, and they need, if we had a childcare program on the island, it would be great if they could be involved in it too.
you know, just takes a little organization because the need is probably there. We just need people we would just need qualified people to be able to.
There's someone on the island who is working on starting a daycare program.
Okay,
It's
That'd be wonderful.
Alex Binder.
okay.
She's working on a daycare program.
Did
She now
you
does-
hear that? Lori, did you hear that comment?
I heard that would be great, and if they would open it up to these people from Greenport who are on the island, it would be wonderful.
Do you want to reach out to her?
Do you know Alex
I know
Binder?
Alex. I
That's
know
who it
Alex.
is. She's looking to start a daycare.
I think she had to do, she went to
pretty
school, she had to do a couple of years of like getting her hours in.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, there's all this licensing stuff that she's
Yeah.
working on.
Okay. So Lori will reach out to Alex.
Yeah, location is an important thing too, though.
Yes. Okay. We can work on that.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else on the stakeholder interviews before we move on?
Just those secondary interviews, maybe if, because the information, not a lot of people have put the information in. If anybody needs help,
Okay.
I'd be willing to help put the information in.
Thanks.
The,
Well, we have Megan here. Last time you said we had 5 or 8, and are we up in numbers
We
now?
are, because I got the ones from Natasha.
Okay.
So.
You got 3 from Natasha, right?
I got 2.
Okay. Oh, she's working on the other one. Okay.
I think so.
Yes, okay.
So if you go to
Monday.
Health and Wellness SharePoint, it says Community Needs Assessment, and that's the Excel spreadsheet that gets generated if you fill out the
Right,
form I
that's good.
sent you. So it automatically will generate the spreadsheet, but we've got I have 8 responses in here.
Okay.
So, the list, the leaders list is in the SharePoint as well, and I have strike-throughs through the interviews that I have.
Okay.
So if you've done an interview and it doesn't have a strike-through, it means I don't have it or it's not in the form. So you can either send it to me and I'll enter it into the form, that's fine, or you can fill out the survey with it, or you can put it directly into that Excel spreadsheet if you want to. However it works best for you.
Meg, just out of curiosity, if I was to go out and do a couple of interviews by myself, and I have the form with me and I could jot down some notes real quick on that, can I just give you the notes?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so that makes it easier because,
I with my laptop, I sat,
yeah, I know,
that was the easiest.
yeah. Okay, all right. I'm working on getting 2 done in the next couple of weeks.
Me too.
So is there anybody else that we're all planning on, maybe two more secondary?
We have one that
already
we conducted.
Yeah, we work, mine are secondary too.
That person has not gotten back to
Right.
us yet, but I can write to her again.
And I have the 2 people that I've identified in my neighborhood,
Oh,
but
good.
haven't outreached with them yet.
Okay,
So we'll do
okay,
that.
yeah, we'll get it done.
And I am negligent, but I have them and I'll send them in. But I'm also thinking while the kids are still here, those that have been through college 1 year, like the one student I spoke to, maybe we could get them all together and get kind of a group opinion of, going to school on Shelter Island and how it prepared them for the real life. So-
It would be great, but I can tell you from experience that corralling a bunch of students is very difficult because I've been involved with one of Peter Waldner's films where he's using teenagers.
Yeah.
And this one's working at the library and this one's working for this one and.
Get them at night by the pool.
them at night.
It's
Like,
Get 'em at night with a bottle of
I like
beer
that.
and hot dogs.
I can reach out to my great niece Mackenzie, who still is pretty anchored with the seniors that graduated last year.
Yeah,
the
those are the ones,
in the
I think
evening.
that's a good group.
Yeah, they're first year college, they just finished, so.
Lori, though, if you could focus on the ones that you've already done, getting them to Meg,
Okay,
I would appreciate that immensely.
yeah, will do.
Okay. All right, thank you. Because I'd like to get that number up,
With that college age group,
15 to 20 soon.
yeah, I think you can extend it into like the 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
People who just graduated college,
Yeah.
or maybe didn't go the whole way. I mean, COVID derailed a lot of kids and their plans. So, I mean, anywhere in that 20-year-old range, post-school here would be an interesting dynamic. So you can also go through Liz at the library and see if she has connections, because she has a lot of classmates who've either come back here for the summer or they're around. So we might be able to pull together a network.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
Good.
In terms of phase 3, I mean, that's something that we were talking about working on. I think we really have so much on our plate right now between these secondary interviews, getting the Brain Day event done, getting the opioid event done for August. I just don't see that, how we're going to possibly.
I don't think we can breathe until the fall.
I may try to ask permission to go to the Silver Beach Association and ask them for some time, just to brace, just because I live there, obviously, and I go every year and I past president. I'd love to be able to go there and say, listen, I'd love to open up my home for an evening, for an hour, refreshments, condo, if anybody has, would like to be a part of the, and just try one community group, all
I
right?
also want to add that we're starting our bereavement group in July.
Right.
So,
Right.
I mean, I'm feeling like.
Yes.
Pretty overwhelmed, so.
I worked on this like 6 hours yesterday, it's just the brain.
It looks like you did, actually.
It did. I put a lot of work into that.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so much for that. But I think, when we talk about the summer of, I think that's going to be more of a fall. I will try to, I think we got to push that back realistically. In terms of gathering the data, and again, I would update that on phase 4 to, late fall or early winter. And that's, I think, a little bit more realistic.
Well, if we're gonna be, because we're gonna start our secondary, or the actual focus groups when? In the fall? Is that what you mean, is another way of gathering data?
The secondary interviews?
No, the focus.
Oh, the focus groups, yes, I think the focus groups, yeah, I think we need a whole strategy meeting just on that. You know, I think we have so much on the plate right now that we're trying to, I mean, literally, I'm kind of going a little crazy with trying to get everything done.
Also, running a focus group is totally different from
An interview.
doing the interviews that we've
Yeah,
been doing.
and we'll also have John back by then.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so
John's on the road, you know, so when John returns,
So that's something,
He's
that's down the road.
that's his bailiwick, you know, he's the expert.
That-
I'm definitely not.
Have some flexibility on the time frame, because our goal is to begin to work on implementing some of these program ideas next year.
Yeah.
So we can afford to be flexible.
Yes,
And
yeah,
already it's so clear, some of the themes that are emerging that are really important, you know, we're really getting some really good data.
yeah. Again, phase 5, in terms of actual development of a plan, I would cross out November, December. I would put January and February of 2026, with the idea that hopefully we can put together a final look at the plan, maybe March or April, which would be phase 6. If by doing that, we're ready for really the influx of people coming in next summer. You know, I think it's a more realistic timeframe. Again, if we didn't have these other events, because these other events are very time consuming, you know, you could spend a lot of time on putting one of these things together, so.
But also an opportunity to gain information that
Yes.
can be used in these needs assessments. So
Right,
they're
yes,
kind of, you know, multi-purpose.
okay,
And I also was going to say, I believe that it's already been proven through the interviews that we've done that people really appreciate being consulted.
yes,
People are excited about this
Yeah.
opportunity for, you know, identifying some new directions. And I've been really encouraged that it's worthwhile
Oh, people
already.
really want to talk. Bonnie and I did an interview
Yeah.
yesterday, and I said to Bonnie beforehand, let's keep it to a half hour because I have something that I have to do at such and such an hour. Well, an hour later, I'm saying, well, look, I really have to go. Bonnie, I'm going to leave you to finish the interview.
Well, they're endlessly fascinating.
Yeah.
And you realize that each person has a unique perspective and that those voices are so happy to be attended to. And so I feel that we're already doing something valuable.
It makes sense at our brain day and even at the addiction awareness day to have maybe the questionnaire that we've been using available for people to just fill out and anonymously give it back to us. Or, I mean, should we use those events to kind of talk about a little bit that we're doing? Like a mini survey.
yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts, Maxine?
I mean, I think you can. I think you can. You'll get a different perspective if you're not interviewing,
Yeah,
because
it's
then
Yeah,
your bias may not show up in that interview. It's just answering questions on a paper.
guys feel-
It may be more neutral, but you may not get the same.
I guess my concern is, well, I think we should consult with John if possible about that, because his idea of a survey after the sort of this process of data gathering is done, basing the survey on this, what we are learning. You know, I do agree with you, Callie. I think it would be a great opportunity at these events to identify ourselves more.
To talk
the
about what we're
committee's
doing, I
what-
think.
Yeah, what our goals
To
are.
talk about what we're doing
Yeah.
and even tell people about this process that we're going
you
through.
know what?
Maybe have a sign up.
I think something in between, correct, that's where I'm going,
I disagree. I don't think that's, I think, to identify ourselves, but it's not the time to talk about a community needs assessment. We're very focused. The brain is awareness. The overdose visual of hope has a focus, and I think then it just gets, I think that as you identify yourself as the committee of what, but it's not the time to talk about the community and the needs, and this is what we're doing, and we're interviewing, and
What about just having a table? And then if people want to be interested in it, they can see it there or whatever, because we're gonna have a table at the Brain Day event, right?
And I agree, that might be one-on-one conversations. If someone says, what's your committee about?
Yeah, yeah.
And you'd have to say, this is part of what we were working on.
How about rather, and I hear you, and it does distract from the focus of the day, having a table with just explaining what we're doing there as a handout. So when you leave, as I close up the end of the evening, by the way, on table number 2, we have a list of things that the committee is working on. Please feel free. There's a contact number of people to call or to email if you're open to an interview, if you're open to a suggestion, it's something of that nature. We can work on that. I can put something together for that.
As many voices as we can.
Yeah.
Right, and not everybody's gonna know about the focus group, not everybody's
Right.
gonna, I mean, obviously the mailing is ideal. And hopefully people bring it back and they contribute, but like as much as we can get people's voice and opinion.
I mean, people don't need to know about this committee, so
Yeah.
Right.
it's not like,
But I think I see it on a one page, not too complicated, it's not a big handout, one page explaining the committee, the inception, we would do that one line, the goal of this idea of collecting data, why are you doing this? What is the goal of that? To reinforce our mission statement, and we're trying to deliver better on our mission statement, but we're a limited number of people, and we're seeking greater input from people that either live here year-round, live here for a month, live here for 2 months, whatever, in order to be able to accomplish our mission better. So that's kind of, you can put that in a one, and at the bottom, by the way, here are some contact numbers of people you might feel comfortable in calling if you'd like to be a part of an interview process in terms of gathering data. Just keep it simple. I'll put something together and throw it out to everybody and see what you think, okay? All right. Okay, moving on to item number 4, which is the Brain Day, World Brain.
thank you, this was great,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's all about the brain is the name of the title of the program. Obviously, it's on Tuesday, July 22nd, from 6 to 7:30. It's located across the street in the community center at the library tent area. We don't have the luxury of being able to go inside with inclement weather, which we thought we would, because obviously there's a conflict in the center, both late afternoon and early evening. So, but the Bucks are playing the game away, so that should not be a conflict there with parking. But we'll do everything under the tent. The tent is large enough that we can keep everything there. We're going to set up 50 chairs. We're going to set up a couple of tables. We have the EMS ambulance coming, which will back into it, so people at the end. And I just got off the phone with Jack Tilburg, who's the EMS director, obviously is a sergeant here in our police department. He's going to come in and speak towards the tail end of it to kind of wrap this thing up. So we do have our speakers pretty much in line. Kelly, thank you very much for getting, we were struggling to find a physician, a neurologist that would be able to. It was Bonnie. It was Bonnie, okay.
For persevering. It
right.
was Bonnie.
All right.
Lucky to get in touch with this neurologist.
So just give us a little sense of this person.
Well, I think he's world renowned, actually.
If you look
in
at his
the field
if you look at his
of-
credentials, it looks like he
Of
is.
stroke,
Yeah.
neurology. And I happened to meet him in a personal context, and we had a wonderful conversation about Shelter Island.
Okay.
Discovered he's a Shelter Islander, and just decided when we were working on this to track him down. And it took quite a lot of tracking. But when I finally got his email, and he responded, he was so happy to be invited. And
Oh, nice.
so
Who is it, Bonnie? What's his name?
his name is Dr. J. Moore, Mohr. He was at Columbia Presbyterian, and he's recently retired. And we've emailed agreeing about his speaking topic. He will talk about stroke prevention. And we had talked, I said, we had just finished talking about how important a topic that would be. So We have some little details to work out with him, but, yeah.
I'm still waiting.
His first name is Jay, J-A-Y?
J-A-Y.
Okay, more M-O-H-R, neurologist. Do we know what hospital he's associated with?
Columbia Presbyterian.
Columbia Presbyterian, thank you.
And then we have Sarah Cohen, who is the administrator of the Parkinson Center at Southampton Hospital. And she will be presenting, her career is in physical therapy and rehabilitative medicine. So she will be speaking about exercise and rehabilitation, early diagnoses of motor disorders, and about the resources that are available in our community. Because when she and I had a conversation, she was like, well, what's your goal? And I was like, we really want people to come away feeling more supported, and that if they need something, they know where to find it. So she runs the wellness program at Southampton Hospital, and she's going to talk about that as well. And then we have Alyssa Hurlbut, who you want to.
Well, she's a dietitian, and so obviously, and she works with all ages of people on their diet, and she was talking to us about the link between cardiology, of course, and neurology, and how what you do for your heart is very similar to what you need to do for your brain, and so. And she was going to, we were going to provide a little healthy snack, but then we decided that that might be too difficult in the sun in July to have a chia sundae, which she was proposing, but instead she's going to give us the recipe. So we'll have that as a handout.
I hope she'll get lots of those recipe cards.
Yes.
She has a degree in nutritional science from Cornell University, which is pretty impressive.
Yes.
Master's degree from NYU. She's a registered dietitian and nutritional counsel. And she's been in private practice for over 20 years. So she's again, a very important part of this. I think having the doctor, having Sarah, having Alyssa. And then also the last two speakers would be Sergeant Rando will be speaking about bike and pedestrian safety. And then we also have Jack Spielberg, who is the director of the REMS. The ambulance will be there. And I just was on the phone. We're going to work on Sunday afternoon over the phone, and I will solidify that on Monday of exactly what we want him to focus in on. But basically, it is on, as he said to me, a lot more bikes, a lot more of the electrical bikes, a lot more accidents involving head trauma, falls. People, and it cost a couple of people their lives, and falling off the roof of a house. We had several of them in 1 year, but that's what he'll focus in on, okay?
And we also talked about hoping he'll share what the emergency protocol is here on the island. Because I think
When you get airlifted.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really important.
people worry about, will they get the
He
care they
actually,
need? So-
he actually brought up an interesting point, saying that most of us like kind of poo-poo Eastern Long Island Hospital. He said they're set up different than Southampton Hospital. I was there this morning, actually. They are quicker to make that diagnosis, accurate diagnosis. And if need be, helicopter called in. If we didn't bring a helicopter there, they have the helicopter, bring them right to Stony Brook. He said that people view them like a sophisticated medical clinic kind of. No, he said when it comes to head trauma and things like that, very impressive. They have everything, if not more, than what Southampton Hospital has. So we should not turn our nose up to that. It's easier to get to, it's quicker, and they're more decisive, and it's a direct line right to Stony Brook. Here, again, this is kind of off the record a little bit, but they sometimes delay in a serious head trauma type of thing of getting the person west to a hospital that can facilitate, a more traumatic brain injury type of thing. And time's money, money's time. Time is of the essence. We also had a program that the Lions Club ran about 2 or 3 months ago from Stony Brook, about new things that they're putting in ambulances now that are much more sophisticated in terms of dealing with stroke victims. So obviously, stroke being a topic that we're going to talk about here and this evening at that event, pretty important that we had those kinds of equipments available to get that kind of data in an ambulance, knowing full well we can get that before we even get to the hospital, and relay that to a neurologist or somebody at the hospital with the idea the helicopter would be there and we'd have that person moving further west if need be.
I think people would be very reassured to hear from him about.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. He said, he just has to be careful politically with saying something that, he sits on a fence there with the medical community. You've got to be careful about what comes out of your mouth in terms of, building somebody else and comparing to somebody else. And I understand that situation from his perspective. So.
He doesn't have to say anything against Southampton.
No.
All he has to do is talk about,
The plus, yeah.
yeah, how Eastern
Yeah.
Long Island has really risen over the last few years.
And even in
It
terms,
has a stroke heart center. Eastern Long Island does not. Eastern Long Island does not have a trauma center. Riverhead has the trauma center. So it's interesting where you go. So
Right.
it's good to hear from professionals about those decisions.
yes. All right.
Yeah. The other thing about ELIH is they have a psych unit, and most of the psychiatrists have degrees in neurology too. So they're licensed in both fields.
Yeah.
So
The
they
last thing,
probably- Yeah, they probably have a neurologist on the floor all the time.
They do not have a neurologist on staff at Eastern Long Island Hospital. That I know.
Their psychiatrists, a lot of them carry the same license for both of them. The older ones, the older physicians.
I just I wanted, but recently someone very close to me had a fall, and there was no neurology on staff at Eastern Long Island. They had to go to the trauma center in Riverhead.
Okay.
So
the other thing is the five of us did meet last week at the tent itself. I just want to say that we met on Thursday. We went over the physical plan, how we would lay things out. Then we went over the program. I think we made some headway, but we are meeting this coming Monday night at the same place, right? We're coming back, same time, same station under the tent to dot the i's and cross the t's. We're, remember, just 1 week out at that particular point.
And I won't be able to attend.
Okay, but-
Because I'll be out of town.
Okay, all right, but we'll be there.
You guys.
And we'll be able to, I also did some, depending on the time, I'm just gonna, if everything goes well, we should occupy pretty much, my goal is to occupy 70, 75 minutes of presentation with a chance for 15-minute to 20-minute discussion, question and answer from the speakers. If not, if we go way short of that, I have done a whole thing on athletics in New York State, how things have changed. If you read yesterday's Newsday, I believe it was, about having an AED, an automated external defibrillator, at every park, Nassau County Park in the county. They talked about the poor child that died running the bases at a practice. His father happened to be sitting in the stands while there's a doctor. Kid never showed any signs before, went down, stopped breathing. Father came out, gave CPR. The kid died, was pronounced dead right there at the scene of the accident. The defibrillators, interesting enough, I never said this to you, but defibrillators, when they first came out in Nassau County, which is 2 decades ago, which we mandate in every school, like a complex, you go up and down the hallway, there are AEDs in every wing of every part of that building. Not only are certain people, the entire staff is trained, and there are people who are highly trained in the use of the AED. I used it one time here in our gym. But the reason I bring that up is in the first year at Nassau County, when we implemented the AEDs, they saved more lives than you can imagine. Not on the athletic field, guess where? In the stands. And guess what age group? The grandparents attending the grandkids' games that had heart attacks, well, most likely heart attacks in the stands where AEDs were used to save lives. So that is kind of just an interesting fact. We run a drill up here in basketball practice where you get the JV and the varsity up. Let's say you have 10 and 10, you have 20 kids. Can you run 20 kids down the gym and then run backpedal? Well, it's okay when you're running in this direction, but when you backpedal and you're on the width of a gym, or the length of a gym, they're pretty close together. Guess what happens? Kids hit one another, they fall back and they crunch their heads. So what do? Count off by threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, ones are up. Now there are 7 kids running. Now there are 7 and then 6. So there's ways to do the same drill safely by teaching about safety. But I'm talking about walking out into athletic fields and doing a safety management. Go by that softball field, go by that hardball field. Guess what? There's the dugout, there's an open fence, and there's the backstop. Parents come, they got the little kids are running around all over the place. The kid on deck got this big aluminum bat, sitting there watching the pitcher, swinging this bat, there's the plate, and these little kids are running up to see their brothers, and they don't even see the kids and they're swinging the bat. I'm the athletic director sitting up in there saying, that's it. It's over. Within a week, we ordered fences. I took pictures of it. According to the superintendent said, what are we waiting for? We're waiting for a head injury here. We need to connect the backstop to the dugout and keep the public away from the kid in the on-deck circle. What did that cost us? A few $1,000s. That's it. But over the course of decades, it saves lives. So all I'm saying is that it's incumbent upon all of us as parents or grandparents, when we come and we see something that's unsafe on an athletic field or in a gymnasium, to make people aware of it. It's about prevention and education.
So is this the kind of thing you think that Officer Rando will be talking about in terms of head safety and all this sort of stuff? This is.
I don't think so. I don't know, but again, it's a time thing. We don't need to go into this.
Right.
I will have everything.
This kind of detail, we'll, yeah.
I think
This-
you
this-
already have 1, 2, 3, you have 5 speakers.
I think
Yeah.
that,
Something
No,
speakers,
I don't
we-
think,
no, but it will be in the packet.
Yeah, good.
So the packet has got everything that all on bike safety, walking safety, if, veterans, we're not talking specific, we don't have a veteran that's coming in talking about brain injury and post-traumatic stress and possible TBI for veterans. It's all here, the numbers, the hotlines, but it gives scary statistics about the kids that have served, 1, 2, 3 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. But the information is in here. So we literally have it on every subject about traumatic brain injury. We have diagrams of the brain. I have a quiz. That, again, the quiz is a 10.
I like that quiz a lot.
I came up with the quiz with 10 questions, true and false, and I can distribute it to you, at the meeting on Monday night. But it's very quick. But there's a lot, and there's a thing on myths. There's the larger the brain, the smarter you are. That's not necessarily, obviously, it's a myth. Children that are exposed to music early in life, prenatal. So they've done studies with prenatal groups where Mozart, it's called the Mozart myth, that, however, they have found through recent studies that it does make a difference in terms of brain connections, neuron connections, even in the fetus before the child is born. So they've worked with preemies and they've worked in hospitals. There's a lot of good information. We're not going to be able to get to all of that, but it's interesting stuff for people that want to go home and read about it. It's going to be available for everybody in terms of a handout.
and that's a terrific resource for people to take
Yeah.
with them. Callie, do you want to talk a little bit about the planning for the interactive pieces of the program, or is that still in?
Yeah, no, I don't have that.
That's still working.
But we're thinking about 3 activities, right?
Okay, yeah.
A breathing activity, because how many spots do we need to fill?
Probably 3.
Yeah,
or more.
to start, in the middle, and then towards the end, maybe. Yeah,
Probably open with some kind of interactive, get them moving, exercise, and maybe something where they're sitting and then end with the breathing is what I'm thinking.
So I did speak with Mary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And she, I forget the exact name of it, but it is a neurological, and she's got some little exercises, just with the eyes and with, touching your nose and stuff like that, so she's.
And would she be available and want to
Yes,
participate?
and I can send you her credentials,
Okay, great.
but she would also be interested in.
Maybe we can include her in the handout, this, to name her in the program.
Yeah,
No?
yeah.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah, we need her name and credentials then, if we're gonna put in.
I'm just thinking that when the program starts, people are probably not going to want to get up and are going to be a little bit self-conscious about getting up and doing the first exercise. So I'm thinking that we should wait until after maybe the first speaker to do the first interactive thing.
Yeah, I like
And that's
that.
why I was thinking.
Sprinkle it in.
And that's why I was thinking actually of starting with the questions, with the 10, make as an icebreaker.
Yes.
Before we even get into the speaker, start with true or false, not giving the answers will be in the packet.
Yeah, I'll put the answers, I will put the answers in the packet.
I was just thinking, so, just for everybody to think about.
Right.
True or false, number one, your brain is bigger and makes you smarter. Just think about it, we have you'll have the answers. Number two, blah, 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 blah. So that as a kind of an icebreaker, so nobody has to do anything, they can just listen, and then we'll have speaker number one, then start with the interactive stuff. Hopefully then people will be, into it, and they'll be happy to stand up and do stuff.
Would you be able to do that, Nancy, and then also make the first introduction of the first speaker?
Yeah.
So serve as
Yeah.
kind of the glue that gets things
I
going?
can do that, yeah.
Great.
Logistics, a speaker system.
The library they can provide a speaker system, but they cannot provide any other, sort of whiteboard or interactivity.
The speaker system.
So the speaker system will be coming from the library.
And they'll set that up.
We won't have any slides, PowerPoints or anything like that. Yeah, we'll talk Monday about the timing. And, we'll have to work on the order of speakers and how we want it to go. And so we have some big things to work on Monday.
So should we just do Nancy, you do the true and false icebreaker, Gina, you could have.
Well, I'll do an introduction first,
Right,
a welcome, an introduction,
but that's kind of the first.
number one, numero uno.
Why we're
Yeah.
doing what we're doing.
Right away,
In
yeah.
terms of like the activities though, so the true or false thing, and then Gina, Mary, why doesn't she just do the brain activities, and then I'll just end with the breathing, if there's only
Okay.
kind of 3 slots.
Right, but in between our speakers.
Right.
We're interspersing with
Exactly.
speakers, yeah.
And they're quick.
Does that?
And not involving anybody to do a lot of major stuff,
Yeah, does that feel right?
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
think we're same thing.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Just logistically, it's gonna go on the calendar, and on our webpage should be something, maybe that
We put the
poster.
poster on the webpage.
Okay,
Okay.
take down the
A
autism.
webpage that everybody goes to all the time.
anybody,
Social media too.
Yeah.
anybody have an idea of how much the human brain actually weighs in terms of pounds or ounces?
Head is 10 pounds. I know that. 10 is your head.
The brain, just the brain itself.
I'm gonna say 5.
2 pounds.
2 pounds. Well,
How many neurons in the brain?
Bazillion.
800 million.
Not my brain anymore. Get a few shot.
100 billion neurons in the average human brain. 100 billion.
And when do they start deteriorating?
Well, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
when does the brain mature? Early, mid-20s. When does it start to deteriorate?
Late 20s.
No, 30s and 40s. 30s and 40s, it's on a gradual hold down. After age 55, 60, the slope is not like this, the slope is more like this.
What you do from a diet.
Exactly. And when we talk about brain health,
That's why we're doing it.
actually being part of doing these kinds of things keeps your brain sharp, whether you're doing crossword puzzles or Sudoku or reading or listening to classical music or, all those things contribute. You know, it's,
I have these stats, I like them,
Yeah.
even in terms of an introduction, some of these stats, I think.
I have it all in here.
It's all in there.
Everything is in here.
Okay.
Everything is
I'm
in
gonna
here.
comb through to see whether in the introduction, any of this should be
Okay,
relevant.
all right, okay.
Hey, Jim, I get information from Massachusetts General Hospital, and I get this uh, program about mental health, and they're all brain games. So
Yes.
I'll make a lot of copies of it, and I'll just have it available. They can take it with them.
Okay.
Give it a try, give it a taste.
Right. So we'll we'll pretty much dot the i's, cross the t's come Monday night. I have a few things I got to get done before that time.
Monday.
6 PM, 1,800 hours at the tent. There you go. All right.
Who is gonna, we wanna post, like, have the poster on those Shelter Island local neighborhood, community, whatever they're called, all those Facebook pages and, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that, unfortunately. I'm kind of a social media dinosaur, so I.
I can
Is there
post
someone
if you.
Shelter Island local is easy. I mean, I could,
We want to put the poster on the local.
yeah, that would be nice.
And we'd also like to request from the town to put the poster in the Reporter. So that Bonnie doesn't have to cough up the bucks for it like she usually does.
But we have to, I tried calling. I tried calling over there, but I think I don't have the right number to make sure we're within the deadline, because don't we have to have Saturday afternoon,
Tuesday.
everything,
You have to have it by Tuesday.
by Tuesday for that Thursday? Because we only have
Yeah.
one Thursday before. the
Yeah.
event. Okay, so we'll just make sure we get in by the
That's
deadline.
true.
Yeah, I think we have a contact number over here for the advertisements.
Oh, great.
I do
Great.
too, but I don't have it with me right
All right,
now. Yeah.
well, we'll do that.
And I have to get the article in. And I've been in touch with our speakers and I've heard from most of them. Still have to hear from Dr. Moore.
Yeah.
But I'll do that by tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
So the poster should be ready at the library this afternoon. I just have to check in with Liz, who did an incredible job working with me to get it to look really great.
Yeah,
And,
it is impressive. I like it.
yeah, It's a good poster.
it's very good,
Yeah,
really good.
So we'll get that out this weekend and hopefully get a lot of attention.
All right.
So each of our jobs, though, is to get people to come.
To talk to everybody we know and tell them to
Send
come.
the poster in a private email to 10 of your friends, see
Right.
if somebody will come.
Yeah. And Jim will put this electric sign out, Reed, and get that out, hopefully I've talked to him, by getting it out on that weekend before. Yeah, out in front of the library there, just to remind everybody of that, okay? Anything else on that event before we move on to item number 5? Because item 4 will resolve Monday night. Item number 5 on the opioid overdose awareness day, Vigil of Hope. That's Gina Kraus. You are, I listed here the things that we normally have to do, 100 chairs from school. I will coordinate that with Mike Dunning. He'll bring the 2 racks, which are 50 chairs per rack. So we'll get 100 chairs out there. Sound system, is Steve available? Does anybody know?
I haven't spoken to Steve yet. Would you like me to reach out to him?
Yeah.
He's like, I mean, that sound system,
Very.
you live or die.
I don't think it's really just a podium mic.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know if that will work.
I'm telling you, that system makes or breaks that event, and so people can hear. And people, you can hear a pin drop when those people are talking, so you got to have a good microphone there.
Were you interested in talking with him also about music? Last year, I know he provided the accompaniment for Lenore.
Right, oh, he did, right? He
Yeah.
played the guitar.
Yeah, and beautifully,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know if you
Yeah,
want, okay.
Did you say that, did I see you said that Jesse King is singing this year?
No.
No. I
No,
made-
no, no.
I made that.
All right, so who's going to reach out to, who's going to take care of Steve?
I'll reach out to Steve.
Okay, Bonnie. All right, thank you.
I sent you just sent it, kind of an outline,
Okay,
thinking that the theme of this year could be healing, right?
yep,
And so healing, an introduction, healing, I'll do it unless someone else has the urge or would like to, but I will do it. A healing after loss will be Jim Hood. He's a parent who lost his son but he also founded the Generation SOS, which is Share Our Stories, where young people go into schools and share their stories with other young people.
So Gina, could you just from top to bottom, I'm going to give a very quick welcome. First person out,
Me.
you.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
outlined it, I did send it to you in a document.
Oh, all right, I'll see the document, okay.
And there's healing and recovery,
Okay.
and Joe Kelly will speak about recovery. He's a resident, he's a lawyer, he'll speak to that.
Okay.
He's very active in AA. Then healing through spirituality and prayer would be Father Steve. I don't know who usually reaches out to him.
Pastor Steve
Pastor Steve?
from the Presbyterian Church.
Yeah, no, he's
Sure.
from Presbyterian.
Yeah, Presbyterian, he's not father,
Yeah.
he's Presbyterian, yeah.
I can talk to him. I'm an elder at that church.
Okay.
I thought you were just a junior.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's good.
I like
Then healing as a family would be Nancy's friend,
Mary Ann Palmer.
Mary Ann Palmer.
Okay.
And healing as a community will be Anthony Rando.
Okay,
There's a song called Heal. That's a really nice song.
is Julia King, is she?
No,
No,
no, Julia's not available, but again, we'll come up with, maybe somebody different or somebody that we've reached out to before, and then the closing. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and closing 8.
okay.
We got a program.
Yeah, we have,
Bing a bang and boom.
could you just add that person in when you resend that out?
Yeah.
Just add that one person in there so I have a format on that? I want to put that in the minutes.
So I reached out to Hubs, we'll set up a table. Generation SOS will also have conversation with our school and Anthony Rando about bringing the program into Shelter Island School. They're also meeting with East Hampton in July and Greenport in July. Kelly, I'll reach out to her about setting up the Narcan. And if she can't do it, I think it would be best to reach out to the police station to see if they can do it. Flowers, I'll take care of so he gave us a budget, Anthony, of $2,500. So,
That's great.
yeah,
Wow.
so really our expenditures are really, the candles, minimal, the tablecloths, maybe some signage or maybe an ad in the paper, this year.
We definitely want the ad.
Yeah, I think definitely an ad in the paper this year. So that would come out of that.
Yeah, could we get when you send that in, maybe he would even put one of the pictures from last year with the big crowd, with shows like 100 people in that one photograph.
I think once we finish with the brain thing, finish
Okay.
with that July, and then August hit with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we finish
Okay.
brain, we're.
Keep it till the end of July and then
Okay.
flip over to that.
All right,
We'll do the same
Great.
thing with social media. The
Social media.
library has been so good about making the posters. Then reach out to clergy, town board. Dr. Dolger has it on his calendar already. Invite to anybody formally that we would like to invite.
You got your signs in your garage?
I'll redo the things. I still have them in my basement.
Do you want the poster image to stay pretty much the same?
It kind of works.
I think it's
purple.
identifiable
Yeah, I like
to
it. I
everyone.
like
it.
You know
I think it's
what it
pretty-
is.
Yeah.
The only thing, take off the, I don't know, it's not International Opiate. It's just International Overdose Awareness Day. So we are covering opiates, alcohol, and street drugs. It's just not an opiate.
Right.
And I don't know, I'm going to have a conversation with Anthony about what some of these funds, could they be used if it was under the umbrella of our event.
Supporting other organizations or?
No. More how we can help people who need, how we can, if there's any way at our event, we can do that.
Great. We're practically there and we haven't even started.
It is amazing. Gina, could not do this without you, my dear. You're unbelievable.
So that's, unless anybody, everybody's in, so they've all agreed.
Gina, just a question. Would you like to speak to Mary Ann in
wouldn't-
advance? Should I?
Yeah.
The two of you
I think
together?
that would be
Yeah,
great.
she'll be happy to talk to you.
Yeah. And Anthony's been great, so, and to talk about other things that we're gonna do in the community. And I think this committee should be working with the police department, Anthony in particular, he runs that, about other kinds of events and things that we can do.
Anthony's
With our support, he's involved in two out of two of our events.
Yeah.
So,
And he's very, very willing, so.
Oh, he's an integral part of that school
So I
community.
put it out to Jim and to Anthony, and the recommendation was that Anthony speaks, because he's the one kind of organizing
Yes.
the way those funds are being spent.
Yes, okay.
If you send me the program info, I'll get it,
Okay.
start working on getting it ready.
Right, and remember our program last year had all the resources, they can really stay. The only thing I would add is Generation SOS.
Okay.
So I've been kind of helping them connect with schools, but they on their own have, they're in a lot of schools.
When they run those programs at school and the turnout has been dismal at best. I mean, you could count the number of people on two hands. And it's, you have a great speaker coming in and it's powerful. And Margaret and I went only probably because she's on the board and you're coming with me, so I'm there. But I never regret that hour. I mean, it's just very, very moving. It's excellent. I think what they need to do, ask Dr. Dolger and remind us, involve us. Health and Wellness Group. We would love to work with the school in terms of getting more people. Maybe if we join forces a little bit, we can encourage people to come to these events.
Right.
The guy last year was
Right.
marvelous.
Remember that they work with the kids, so before that evening,
Yes.
they were in the school working with, so
Oh,
that's
absolutely,
the
absolutely.
main thrust. How to
Right.
get parents, you gotta have kids at the event.
Yeah,
You gotta have kids drawing parents in.
yeah. That's what happens. During the course of the day, the speaker speaks to the student body.
So all of
At
them,
night, and parents have a chance to come in. But if you want to have a decent dialogue with your son or daughter,
Right.
come to it's only an hour, then you can actually sit down and say, what'd you think about the program yesterday? And, Mom and I sat there and we had some feelings about, it gives you a chance to open up and have a dialogue with your child or your children.
they might wanna think about when they're, well, maybe not, because when they do with the kids, they're asking for openness and conversation, right? So
Yeah.
you don't want your parents there.
Oh, no, I mean at home. I mean,
Yeah, no.
anything that encourages dialogue at home.
Right.
No,
No,
here,
absolutely.
your son or daughter had to be there because they were in school that day and had to go to the event. Take the time to show some investment that you're interested, since, who wants to be the parent that, you want to be better educated, you want to be more aware, more knowledgeable. This is an opportunity to do that. Let's take advantage of it. So, maybe we can help Dr. Dolger get people there,
Nancy, would you run an article then for August? Yeah.
just recycle the same article.
Maybe, and I think that the only person I think is to just check with Joe, if it's okay to use his name publicly, which usually he's fine, or people are fine with that. Then we can list our speakers even on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, great. Super job. So just resend that out to us and just so that we have it, and I want to make
I'll add her
it
to
part of the minutes for
the,
us.
send me her
Okay.
info so I can talk to her. Perfect.
I usually does anybody have, other than the three major things that we went over today, the events, anybody else have anything else you wanted to discuss at the meeting today?
I did have a conversation with Terry Lucas from the library about the Brain Day event, and she expressed an interest in maybe our considering in the winter doing something on seasonal affective disorder, because she thinks that it really is a phenomenon out here, and that it's a perfect topic to cover on Zoom when people are kind of locked in already for the winter, and to really kind of delve into it and, kind of give people some guidance, support, and we'll all feel better doing it too, she thinks. So she asked me to,
Last year, I'm not gonna have to recycle it.
we're gonna, I just wanted to put it out there for our consideration, maybe as a winter Zoom program.
Sounds good. Sounds
Good
good.
idea.
Always a good idea from Terry, always good
You know,
idea.
a weird idea that originated at Car Place was having a senior prom.
Oh,
For seniors, not senior high school students, seniors. And they ran a senior prom, and the kids from the Honor Society and everything ran the, and we had that, we got a budget for that, and we had an old-time band come in. I'm telling you, it gained in popularity. It doesn't run from, from 8 to 12, it runs from 6 to 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and they had little refreshments.
You hearing that, Lori?
It actually was.
You hear this, Kelly?
no.
Yeah,
Senior
it was,
prom.
it was actually pretty successful, and it was pretty good.
Kelly thinks it's a good idea.
Yeah, I love that idea.
There you go. Anybody else with any other items? If not, our next meeting is September 12th, which is a few months away, at 1:30 PM here, same time, same station. Do I have a motion to adjourn today's meeting, which is exactly 1 hour at 2:30?
Make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Aye.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, meeting is adjourned. Thank you very